From now on, my life is my own. It's dance magic time!
Looking cool, Joker.
I'm fed up with this.
You were grooving.
Wow. It's getting steamy in here.
That was sexy, even seductive.
Damn.
It seems your journey has not quite come to its end. As a Persona protagonist, it is now your duty to be exploited by Mother Atlas until they move to their next plaything.
But I already learned to breakdance, and I got the crap kicked out of me by Mr. Game & Watch last week.
Behold, Persona 5 re-released at a full price tag with brand new features, characters, and a third semester of content.
For real?
Fine. But only if I get a sweet grappling hook this time.
Fine.
Persona 5, one of the biggest games of 2017, now made even bigger. If 100 hours wasn't enough for you, Atlas has you covered. Much in the same vein of Persona 4 Golden or Persona 3 FES, Persona 5 Royal is the de facto re-release. However, while I briefly will touch upon the new changes in the base game, this video will mostly serve as my thoughts and impressions on the story updates. That said, let's jump right into what makes Persona 5 Royal, Royal. The game is loaded with content, but it is interspersed as if to drip out across the entire game. Palaces have all been altered and/or overhauled with entire new sections as well as will seeds, which can be collected and turned into items. This opens up entire new paths and makes palaces more fun to explore and rewarding overall. I really enjoy how they change palaces, and I never felt like I was truly complete with the palace until I collected all the will seeds. They also helped me to gain a better idea of how far I was within the palace. Kichijoji is another new area that is added to the map that gives you access to a lot of new places to spend time, including a billiards club. The gang can all hang out and play darts or pool here. I really enjoyed my time playing darts, despite Akechi's insistence on playing 701 to prove something.
Show me your true form!
One of the biggest changes comes in the form of difficulty adjustments. While I'm not 100% sure what was changed, the normal difficulty felt much easier to me. This could have to do with the improved combat systems, as well as the higher levels of experience and yen that come throughout the game. In fact, there was a point where Joker felt like he had an absurd amount of money to his name.
Here comes the money.
Here we go. Money talk.
Here comes the money. Money, money,
Dollar, dollar. Dollar, dollar. Ching, ching, bling, bling. Cut the chatter. You ain't talking money, then you're talking no matter. Ching, ching, bling, bling. Patent pockets. We take the dollar, dollar. Can a damn soul stop it? Here comes the new
Do
kid on
things
the
seem
block. Hold on, your
easier
best
to you this time around? I don't remember having this much money.
Oh, woe is you. Too much yen than you know what to do with, huh? I've got real problems to deal with, like figuring out how to actually get my paws on some sushi this time around.
Please, Joker. I'm starving. I haven't eaten in 5 days.
What about your lobsters?
That's another concern. The boys haven't eaten either. We're all starving. Why don't you auction off the Sayori? I couldn't sell the Sayori, so I had to eat it. Please, Joker, spare me some yen. I don't know. The maid service is pricey. and I really need some coffee. Can't you make that for yourself anytime? I don't think so. That would defeat the purpose of the yellow phone.
Master!
While many may argue this was in the original, I felt OP most of the game, despite how incessant the party's demands were to train up for palaces and fights. That being said, combat has been incredibly overhauled. The Baton Pass system is essential to battle and adds a bit more strategy. There are even new showtime attacks that often trigger when Joker has been downed or is near death that are incredibly flashy and feature fun combinations of characters as they have fully animated attack sequences. Other additions include a much improved Mementos. This place was the bane of my existence in base Persona 5, but I found myself willingly going to Mementos now that its changes feel more dramatic as you get deeper. Some floors offer more risk and rewards, and of course it's a great way to farm for experience, but also SP items with the addition of Jose. And no, I refuse to call him Jose. I can tolerate a lot of mispronounced names, but this is too egregious to overlook. He sells you tons of items for flowers, which he drinks. He can also increase the amount of money, experience, and items you can get from enemies as you collect and exchange stamps that are found throughout Mementos. Jose is interesting because he's this weird Pinocchio kid who obviously has more to him than we know. The game never fully explains him, which drives me nuts in some ways because I found him to be one of the most interesting characters. Whether this kid is a future Velvet Room attendant, some C's robot like Igus, or some sort of badnik, it remains to be seen. This leads us to some of the additions that the most people seem to freak out about when they were revealed. 2 new characters and a more fleshed out and traditional confidant rank with Akechi. The main featured new character is Kasumi, who is your underclassman. She's introduced early on and we learn that she's a gymnast always pushing herself to satisfy others' expectations that are put on her. While she is bubbly, she seems more mature than a character like Rise from P4. Her younger sister is said to have passed away in an accident last year, so she's still recovering from the trauma. She's eventually integrated into the Phantom Thieves as a party member and goes by the codename Violet.
Senpai, I've heard a lot of rumors about you. I heard that you have a knife, that you have an airsoft gun, that you dance with your cat in your attic, that you called a maid service with Mishima and Ryuji, and worst of all, that you punched Masayoshi Shido when he was just trying to kiss his girlfriend goodnight? Is any of that true?
It's not that, you just don't, there's no, I'm a Phantom Thief!
Oh, okay.
Kasumi is a welcome addition to the story, but I have to say I was a bit disappointed to not be able to have her introduced to the rest of the Phantom Thieves earlier in the story. Although I think that when her backstory is revealed, it's one of the most memorable. Next is Dr. Maruki, the school counselor who is conveniently also the Counselor Arcana. After the events of Kamoshida, he is called to help the students deal with trauma or any issues that they may be facing in life. Throughout the main story, he hears out all the characters' problems and must be taking extremely detailed notes. He's very relaxed and seems like one of the only characters that we're never really concerned about until, well, we'll get there. Oh, I'm so glad I caught you 3 together. How convenient. Not this guy. Look, I ain't got nothing to say to ya.
Yeah, we can totally carry our own weight. No need for help here.
Yeah, there's only room enough for one messy-haired sexy guy with slightly oversized glasses in this school. Oh, that's a shame. It's just that I have all these snacks and, well, I guess I'll have to find someone else.
Wait!
We're Phantom Thieves! Oh, really? Well, in that case, I have a sweet costume design I want to run by you, and even a persona.
We'll talk.
Over snacks! In my opinion, Maruki ends up being one of the greatest parts of the game. He gives you great abilities like Detox, and even an ability to recover immense SP back during battle. Maruki is very eager to share with Joker his research about cognitive science, and also get his perspective on things, and simultaneously trying to gather as much info as he can on all of his friends. I personally never got the suspicion that he was up to anything malicious, but he did seem almost too friendly at times. Finally, we move on to Akechi. Obviously, he's not a new character, but he does have a lot of new social events. We are able to learn a lot more about his past, and he builds up more camaraderie and a clearer rivalry with Joker. While he often claims he's intrigued with Joker, he makes his intentions quite clear from rank 8.
It's over, Crow. I have the high ground.
You underestimate my power.
Don't try it.
I'll show you my skill!
Gun.
Impossible! Me down, you bastard!
Game!
That was great. You know, I'm actually feeling quite exhilarated from such an exercise. However, I'm afraid the cards weren't in my favor.
Yup, they never are.
You know what? I love you. Well, familial love, of course. I love you like a brother. Almost more than I love my father. And I hate my father. Here, have a token of my affection. Well?
Now hug me, brother!
No! It means I want to duel you, you imbecile.
So yeah, he gives you his glove and tells you he wants to challenge you to a duel in the future once again. This becomes a very important promise to Joker for some reason. While there is new content interspersed throughout the entire game, we don't get any inklings to the new semester and palace until we've been through Okumura's palace. Which, by the way, has the worst boss fight. I don't care if you think I suck at strategizing, I know I do. But in all honesty, just summon Thanatos and destroy the green guys if you're stuck. Anyhow, regardless of if you finish the palace or not, by October 3rd, you get your first glimpse into the future. After being threatened with her honor status being revoked due to the results of her gymnastics meets, Kasumi becomes depressed. Maruki tries to defend her, but seems to fail as Kasumi still leaves upset. She drops her good luck charm, and Joker and Morgana call her on her phone, which is mysteriously fuzzy and distorted. They find her standing in front of what is supposed to be a stadium under construction. That's when Pampered Woman and Laid Back Man mention that the building is supposed to be like a research lab or something. It triggers the nav along with the mention of Maruki, and she's sucked in. By the time Joker and Morgana show up, she's entered the palace. When they find her, she's talking to a mysterious figure that looks like her, but with her hair down and glasses. We suppose it's the cognitive version of her younger sister who died in an accident mentioned early on in the game. Kasumi awakes to her persona and has a transformation a la Sailor Moon. They defeat the only enemy in the palace and make their escape. They go through the obligatory explanation of the metaverse, palaces, and why Morgana can talk. They return the good luck charm, and just like that...
So what's your call, Joker?
Nope. Sorry, I've got bigger fish to fry.
Well, I guess we don't know who's in that palace or why it's there anyhow. Let's not ask her any questions as to how she triggered the nav or what names she mentioned that could have triggered it. It's getting late, so you should probably get to bed.
But what if...
I said it's late.
All right.
They go back home, and Kasumi declines to join the Phantom Thieves and forgets anything weird ever happened. Maybe it's a sign of the headspace she's in. But it is the first time we see anyone reject the offer, which I think makes her stand out here. While many of the main events of the story remain the same, they do continue to spice it up. Although I'm happy to report the SIU Director remains unchanged and as pointless as ever.
It's time for my daily mysterious phone call that I get while I look through my mysterious window. You know, some days I really hope that I'm important to the story being told.
This is Shido!
Ah, yes, Mr. Shido.
Just kidding, this is a voice message. Remember to vote for me, Shido!
I really am just a middleman. No one cares about me. Could have been someone. I could have...
I'm just messing with you, SIU Director man. It's me, Shido. I was looking for a running mate and... Hello? Are you there? Oh, wait. I forgot. I scheduled to have you killed the same day I was gonna ask you to be my running mate. I have got to color code the events on my to-do calendar. It all starts to look the same, you know?
So yeah, the base game stays largely the same. By November, Maruki leaves you with a parting meal. He finishes his cognitive research and explains that he wants to help everyone someday. He promises you to meet again soon and you go on with your life. That's when you go through Sae's palace, unveil the traitor, who I was hoping they'd do a little better to mask this time around, but no, it's as obvious as before.
It was our conversation about pancakes, right?
Joker's arrested, and of course... But it's okay, it was all in the metaverse, and this explanation is just as complicated as I remember, but all that matters is Joker's alive and Akechi's evil. Then, of course, you run into Akechi once more in Shido's palace with some added dialogue, and it turns out Akechi is a wild card like Joker who threw his chance away because he never built any true bonds. Then he goes psychotic and is revealed to be the black mask culprit behind the mental shutdowns. The fight is largely unchanged except for the added dialogue about the reminder of the promise that Joker and Akechi made.
Leave me to die. Please. But,
Your glove!
So, that's it. That's the best reason you can give me to What am I supposed to do with this glove now?
The Phantom Thieves then defeat Shido, then Yaldabaoth, and everything is right in the world. And they make it home just in time for Christmas, which is usually when Joker would be going to juvie, but Akechi miraculously steps up to the plate just in time to take his place. A true Christmas miracle.
Turkey! Give me turkey!
Come on, kid. Don't you have any money?
Sorry. I spent it all on this sweet salt rock.
You've got to be kidding me.
Wow, a turkey!
Where'd you get that?
Some guy with slicked back hair and glasses handed it to me and told me he was going to make all my dreams come true. Woohoo!
There's only enough room in this town for one guy with slicked back hair and glasses.
So this time you get to experience Christmas, and it comes and goes, and so does New Year's Eve.
Oh, come on. I have nothing left. Please, have mercy. You eat all my food. You never let me leave my shop open to patrons.
You haven't experienced the true pain of having nothing until you're forced to eat the Sayori. Luckily today, it seems Lady Fortune has favored me. I first stumbled upon this beautiful scarf while scavenging in the trash with me and the boys. And then I was invited here for sustenance.
Sushi, Sojiro! Sushi! Everyone shut up! There's a hot guy on TV!
Where shall I go? What shall I do?
Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn.
So that's what Lady On finds hot. Morgana, please don't make such disturbing sounds.
Yes. Think of the children which are present.
After celebrating Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve, the day finally comes. The day where crap hits the fan. The day that was spoiled by Atlas before they could even tell you what the game was. That's right, it's the day reality changes. Throughout New Year's Day, we see that reality has shifted to a new normal that seemingly everyone is unaware of except Joker. Morgana is human, Wakaba, Okumura, and Makoto's parents are alive, and everyone's lives are better than ever. Joker meets up with Kasumi and makes a wish at the well. Joker heads home for a disturbing evening and wakes up to a human Morgana in his bed, just like old times.
Holy whoa! What the? Morning, sleepyhead. Did you know you talk in your sleep? I'll make you breakfast since you're crashing at my place tonight.
No. If Mother Atlas is gonna use me as a pawn to appease Reset Era, it's not gonna be today. まさかこの書状を関西に持っていくつもりですか？大工、落ち着け。親の玉を取った相手のところに出かけて行って杯交わしてくださいなんて笑い話にもなりませんでしょうが。
じゃあお前は5代目の仇を討つというのか。
やられたらやり返す、それが極道です。
兄弟、あんたが勝手に動いてとばっちり食うのはごめんだ。
ケツまくるってのか。
戦争すんにも金が必要なんだよ。
金金金って、おめえには極道のメンツがねえのか。
おだまり。関西へ行くつもりだね。
5代目との約束です、姉さん。この一件自分に任せてもらえませんか。
桐生、
あんたも全面戦争は避けるべきだと考えてるんだね。
はい。
向こうが話を飲むとは思えんが。
それも承知の上です。ですがこれは寺田の遺言なんです。
下手したら殺されるよ。
You're my cat. Now get in my bag and tell me to go to sleep.
Huh?
Get in the bag, stupid cat. I hate you. Get in the bag.
And he was like, "You're my cat. Get in my bag." Shut up, shut up, shut up! Oh, pardon me. I'm afraid I lost my bearings for a moment. May I speak with him? You know, don't you? I can tell by the smug look on your face. Oh, your glove. I don't care about that rag. It's out of season anyhow. Look, if you want to learn more, come and meet me at the bathhouse. Oh, and come in this.
Yes. All right.
Yeah.
Wow, those look snazzy.
Ah, so you decided to show up after all. Come, join me. Let me ask you, Joker, have you noticed anything strange lately?
Morgana's human.
Ah, yes, that is strange too, but
Alice is trying to put me in more and more homoerotic situations with more and more characters and...
Oh, I wouldn't worry about that. They'll never actually pull the trigger. Believe me, I would know. Wakaba, Okumura, alive and well. Memories changed. This witchcraft has ruined my life. All I wanted was to die. And yet...
So you did die.
Senpai, remember how you told me not to worry about that palace? Well, I think that was a massive oversight on you and your cat's part.
Palace? What if we were naked? She did mention a palace, correct? Well, let's get going. Attic trash.
What?
It's a deal. I'll assist you.
Joker and Akechi meet up with Kasumi and see the palace has manifested itself in reality. While they can see it, it seems everyone else is ignorant to its existence. Not even pampered woman or laid-back man are observant enough to notice. The metanav returns to the phone and they decide to enter the palace. Without being aware of the palace's ruler, they push forward. Akechi, of course, lacks any amount of shame and now is his true self and appears in his black mask outfit. But it doesn't just end there. When in battle, he's his full psycho self that we only got a glimpse of before. They find that the palace itself seems calm and that the cognitions of people are actually quite normal. The announcements over the intercom suggest that they only want to make their patients happy. It's definitely not a traditional palace. Finally, a guard confronts them, and Kasumi gets her first taste of true Akechi.
So, about him. He always seems so sweet and peaceful, but something seems different about him.
Loki!
I can't quite place my finger on it.
That's just good old Akechi for you. Yeah, get him, Crow. After that, they retrieve a map and keep moving until eventually they move into a room where they are shown a video of a screen of Kazumi's memories. It's a video of her father mourning the death of Kazumi's sister, Sumire. Kasumi feels a shot of pain, and they continue into another room where the same thing happens, and they are confronted by a guard who tells them that only pain and tragedy await them as they move forward. Out of anxiousness, Kasumi jumps straight into the next fight, too early and can't seem to focus. They move into the next room, where a cognitive version of what appears to be Kasumi is standing there reenacting an award ceremony. She is being interviewed and publicly thanks her sister Sumire as she looks to Kasumi. By now, it's blatantly obvious what's going on, but Atlas has a tendency to beat one over the head with subtle hints before they actually come out and say it. They make it to the next room and finally come face to face with the palace ruler, Dr. Maruki. With slicked back hair and an all-new white suit, he finally looks like a proper doctor. He tells everyone about how he has gained the power to bend reality and wants everyone to accept it as he's improved everyone's lives. However, for some reason, nobody wants to accept it and want to go back to their own crappy reality, and they decide to try and stop him. One more video plays that shows the death of the real Kasumi, while Sumire follows and witnesses her sister's death in an accident. This video reminds Kasumi that she's actually in reality Sumire, the younger sister, someone who always lived in Kazumi's shadow. This triggers a mental breakdown in Sumire. Maruki explains that cognitively she's been living as Kasumi. It was her way of coping, and so he granted her wish. Which seems like a weird way to fix her problem considering he brought everybody else's families back to life. However, he does mention that this was specifically Kazumi's wish. He explains that like before when Mementos was merging with reality, his reality will become the true reality if nothing is done. He sees himself as a savior, and as Sumire can't choose between the two, she passes out. Maruki's fetish is made manifest as tentacles spread out of the Shadow Guard and picks up Sumire and passes her into Maruki's arms. The Shadow attacks and leaves Joker and Akechi practically dead until they decide to show Maruki their sweet Showtime attack. Perhaps this is even the coolest moment of the game, seeing the arch-villain and protagonist team up to overthrow a greater evil. Or greater good? I'm not sure. Either way, it's exactly what I wanted. After they beat the Shadow, Maruki tells them that for now, they should observe the reality that he's created and see how Joker's friends are doing. He disappears with Sumire and tells them to come back on January 9th. Akechi decides to investigate all he can into Maruki and finds that Sumire's parents believe that she is off at training camp. Joker decides to go and see where he can get with his friends.
Wow, you're one handsome devil. You know we used to sleep together? Oh, that's right. Your chest was the perfect place to snuggle up on. Wait, huh? I think I'm gonna head out for a minute. That was kinda weird.
I'll be waiting for you.
Oh, okay.
What do you think, dear? Does this location need more Big Bang or Burger?
Definitely more bang.
Oh, Haru. I love you more than anything in the world.
Not so fast.
Are you sure he's actually alive?
What do you mean? Father!
I'll be waiting for you. What's bonkin', Ryuji?
Oh, hey man, sorry. Me and the boys are going on a run. Besides, I don't even remember you calling to say you wanted to hang out.
Do you remember this?
For real?
Take this and this.
My knee, man. My knee.
I'll be waiting for you.
I wonder what Joker is up to. This investigation is proving fruitless. I can't focus. Everything is too...
Vote for me, Shido.
Too perfect. Too happy. Too beautiful. Where is the evil I crave? Why couldn't I have just died in peace? Pick up.
This is Joker.
Joker, I can't stand it anymore. We have to go back now.
But you said January 9th.
I don't care. We're going. Now.
Me and Akechi got a date at Odaiba.
All right. See ya.
That's not right. With that, Akechi makes mention to a few things over the phone. He mentions Maruki's research into cognitive science and that he broke ground to build his research facility, but it was never finished. He mentions that it seems both Wakaba and Okumura are in fact alive, not cognitive forms of themselves. The Phantom Thieves are also still a thing. However, Shido was the only one arrested because he tried to overthrow the government. Neither Akechi nor Joker's crimes exist in this world. Akechi mentions that he can't stand the idea of living under Maruki's thumb. This does check out in my book, as he's the only one who wants to be able to control his own destiny.
Meanwhile, back on the ranch...
So it seems we've all had unpleasant visits from Joker today.
Yeah, he was making weird threats about my dad.
He did the same with me, except about my mom.
He killed my father.
He's been trying to shove me in a school bag and force feed me cat food.
Sounds like you all got lucky. Took me to a back alley with a pipe, beat the crap out of my knee, and he was like,
"Do you remember this?"
And he scrammed.
Huh. He just kept insisting I was his girlfriend and said he'd be waiting for me. He's not even here.
Yeah, he said he was on a date with Akechi in Odaiba.
On a date? And he didn't even invite me?
Hey, Yusuke, what's so funny? You're kind of freaking me out, man.
What child's play? The scars Joker left on you all is nothing compared to what he did to me.
What did he do?
He invited me to the bathhouse.
So, that's it?
You fail to comprehend. With the gift of an artist's eye, it seldom times feels like a curse. There are some things you cannot unsee, no matter how many times you try. Attic trash. I'll never forget those words. Those horrible words! And that's when everyone remembered. Meanwhile, Joker and Akechi are busy in the palace as they once again confront Maruki. However, it seems Sumire is asleep while Maruki gives his evil speech. It's actually quite compelling as he reminds them that if they accept this reality, they'll be just as happy as Joker's friends are. He tries to convince them that it's in everyone's best interest, and this is what Joker and his friends actually want. That's when you finally have the chance to accept or reject Maruki's offer. If you do accept, you get a happy ending. Truly. Maruki is taken aback by your response, and in some ways, everyone wins. If you accept it, it cuts straight to February 3rd, where everyone is hanging out at Leblon, including Kasumi, still as Kasumi. This scene is mostly a look into what life could be like on a regular basis, and even notes that everyone is happy in this reality. After the party, Sojiro makes an offer to Joker to stay for the rest of the school year. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be Sojiro's or Joker's wish, but it is a fun look into something that otherwise wouldn't have been known. It then cuts directly to Makoto and Haru's graduation on March 15th. This is kind of a sentimental moment, as we never would have gotten to see this moment if Joker had not stayed with his friends. We find out that Futaba is transferring to Shujin, and Morgana and Yusuke also mention they may transfer to Shujin. That's when...
Would you rather I take that for you? You're all friends, right? Okay, ready? Say cheese.
Hey, how's it look? Let me see, let me see. I'd like to see it too. I'm glad we all fit.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks a bunch.
Now everyone will be forced to live in absolute splendor for the rest of their days. How devilish of me. With that, it cuts to a relaxing yet creepy version of Maruki's theme, as it rolls through the credits with images showcasing what life could have been. In some ways, I prefer this ending as it shows what they all really wanted out of life. None of the wishes they have are outlandish in terms of desire or anything. They're all pretty simple. Of course, we all know that's not how it really should end. What would be the point of learning anything? So let's go back. I can't accept this reality! So you're intent on destroying my fanfiction after all. I forgot to mention, I wrote Kasumi as a crazed killer in this reality.
Oh, but I'm afraid there's only room for one crazed killer in this reality.
Precisely the reason I wrote you out of being a killer, Akechi-kun.
Blast! Looks like I'll be useless in this battle.
You wouldn't dare change his fanfiction. It's my dream to be Kasumi. I'll kill you!
This fight just hurts, as she constantly questions what you're doing and why you're doing it as you attack her. Upon being defeated, Maruki encourages her to continue living as Kasumi. He summons of all things tentacles, which grab Kasumi and forces her persona out of her to fight in her place. The fight itself first seems quite difficult as it summons and sucks in other shadows to heal itself. Maruki points out that the fight won't end due to her refusal to accept the truth. That's when...
So the research I found about his fetishes was true. It seems that even her persona is a fan of his work. This so-called fan fiction of a reality disgusts me. That's it! We're here for our revenge!
What you've done to me can never be undone.
Or my father!
Joker, what have you been doing these past few days?
Helping them remember.
Shut up! I'll end it for all of you!
The Phantom Thieves come in the nick of time to help Akechi and Joker defeat Sumire's persona. Once they do, Maruki is astonished by their will to fight against his reality. They fill in everyone on what's going on, and they realize that he's figured out all their wishes. Once again, he disappears and tells them that he'll hear their final decision on the 3rd of February, the day he supposedly lost everything. They return to Odaiba and conclude that they should all join forces with Akechi as they share the same goal. Sumire returns somewhat to normal, and they remember that the 3rd semester of school starts tomorrow. Futaba fills Joker in on what happened at LeBlanc, and that they slowly remembered their past as they reflected together. Once they remembered, they headed to the palace. Morgana even goes back to his old ways of telling you to go to sleep. Joker goes to sleep and re-enters the Velvet Room. Lavenza tells him that he's been imprisoned by Maruki rather than the God of Control. She says that the will of rebellion reunited them. You tell everyone at school, and Sumire comes and apologizes to you for what happened. As they meet up, they remark that Maruki isn't like the rest of their targets. He isn't a bad guy, but they do have to change reality regardless. They start to question how he's accomplished what he has, even with his cognitive research. Lavenza calls and tells them she'll meet with them in person tomorrow. They decide to invite Akechi, but not before Haru says they'll just kill him if he betrays them.
Plus, if he does betray us again, we'll just take him out too.
The next day, you see the famous butterfly of the Persona series flying down the halls of Shujin in what appears to be the counseling office where Lavenza appears.
Lady Lavenza, how are you enjoying Persona 5 Royal? Feel exploited by Mother Atlas yet?
I think I got a few games left in me. Lavenza fills you in that Maruki's power to bring his cognitive science to the world comes from Mementos. His ability to actualize his reality must come from his persona. He must have taken over Yaldabaoth, or the God of Control's position, when he was defeated. Maruki gathered their wishes from his counseling sessions, and it seems the world is still being merged with Mementos, and if they don't stop it in time, this reality will become permanent in a month. They decide to secure the treasure by the 2nd of February. Sumire visits that night to let Joker know that she's not sure what to do. After she leaves, you find her waiting in the palace for you.
We should call her Violet. That's some Spanish for ya.
Remember, it's Violet, not violent.
Yes! I promise I'll reform my murderous ways.
I hate all of you.
As you progress, it seems Sumire is having trouble keeping herself stable, as she's switching in and out of her costume. You move forward regardless, where more tentacle monsters show up. Sumire can't seem to summon her persona Cendrillon, but then finally has her mask grip moment, where she finally comes to grip with being Sumire. She summons Cendrillon once again and has her true awakening. You make your way to the control room, where you find that Maruki is monitoring everyone through his cable tentacles. They even go through Mementos.
Ugh, Mementos. I thought we were done with this place.
Come on, Mementos isn't that bad. Think of all the great memories we could make crammed inside me.
It turns out that Maruki is using his tendrils through the same area that the Holy Grail was. This allowed him to gain access to the masses' desires, and he was able to fulfill them. But while you're there, Futaba decides to disable it by hacking in.
Hey, wanna fight me?
We're kinda busy right now, kid.
I promise I'll tell you my backstory and answer all your burning questions if you do.
Fine. Well, that was a colossal waste of time. That stupid eggshell kid told us nothing!
As you return to the palace, you find journal entries scattered about by Maruki, some referencing his girlfriend/fiancée, Rumi. That's when you stumble upon a CRT TV set. They specifically point out that it's an older TV and that they need to watch a tape. The screen glows yellow and there's a lot of static fuzz before the tape plays. The tape reveals Maruki visiting Rumi in the hospital after she had a traumatic incident. He mentions the culprit was caught. It then ominously cuts to a window with the sky a bright yellow. And it was in this moment that I truly thought we were going to get a tie-in to Persona 4. However, it seems that was all just a fluke. He goes on to describe his research to Rumi and his goals to change reality. Rumi relives her memories of her parents' murder, and Maruki hears a voice of his persona speaking to him. All of a sudden, it seems that he's changed reality subconsciously, and Rumi's memories are changed. She mentions living in the countryside with her grandparents and doesn't remember anything or recognize Maruki. The Phantom Thieves continue to find more videotapes throughout the palace that delve deeper into his backstory. We find out that his research was progressing well, but that he was denied funding to continue his research based on a lack of evidence. After so many incidents of things not working out for him, he decides to promise himself he's going to change the world no matter what. As you progress further into the palace, you come across what's described as an exam room. You are put through a series of tests to figure out if you're cognitively sound or not, according to Maruki. However, it seems the correct answers all seem to be based on how Maruki would respond, or would have responded according to his past. With 4 floors to answer separate questions on, you must convene with the gang and decide the correct answers.
So after looking at all our answers, it seems like the right answer is to run away and pee if a bully threatens you.
So, that's how Maruki sees it, huh? Why is this guy such a wuss?
I refuse to answer this way. No man could possibly be this pathetic.
Yes, and that other answer about how you should remind the teacher about homework if no one else in class brings it up. Who does such a thing?
Actually, I kind of agree with that one. It's so evil.
Jeez, this guy's a dweeb.
It's only become harder to sympathize with him.
Let's teach this nerd a lesson.
As they finish the exam, they find another tape, which reveals that Sumire was subconsciously affected by Maruki during their counseling meetings. He was the one that made her believe that she needed to be Kasumi without fully realizing it. The final tape is Maruki returning to make a final case for his cognitive science research and fully awakens to his persona that day. It's the day that Mementos fused with reality as the Phantom Thieves were confronting Yaldabaoth. This allowed him to gain his persona and infiltrate the metaverse in order to take over from the God of Control. Soon after, they secure the path to the treasure and return home. During this time, you have to wait until the second to actually give the calling card, so you can finish up any social links, boost stats, etc. However, this is a fairly brief period of time if you want to finish Sumire's social link, which opens up to 5 more slots. I wasn't able to accomplish it in time, but it should be a focus if you want to see her personal arc through. Finally, the fateful day of the calling card comes.
I now recognize it as being wholly inevitable. This is something only I am capable of doing. I promise.
Take my blade.
Every person alive will be happy in the world I create. So, let me ask you the same. After really considering every option, do you have any doubts about your views? I suppose it's more likely to ask, do you two gentlemen have any doubts?
Yes!
You're here, aren't you, Akechi-kun?
Akechi.
You caught me.
Oh, it was just a hunch.
It turns out Akechi really was killed, and Maruki brought him back to give them a fresh start. Akechi claims that he has a gap in his memory. It turns out that if they don't accept this reality, Akechi will disappear too.
The relationship you two share is very unusual.
What?
That's why I found it so tragic what happened in Shido's palace.
Despite this, Akechi doesn't seem fazed. You hand Maruki the calling card and he tells you he'll meet you in his palace.
Ah, that's right. I've heard your calling.
So, my suspicions were correct. I'm a dead man walking. The cold embrace of death is within my grasp. Joker, please, I want to hear you say it. But, your glove.
Shut up, Joker, I want to die so bad.
Okay, you can die.
Yes! My persona's evolving after hearing you finally say it.
Of course, this isn't the only option. You can ignore confronting Maruki altogether and let time run out. You get another ending entirely in that case where Maruki makes your decision for you.
Seems like you can't reach a decision. In all honesty, I really wanted you to accept my gift of your own free will, but I see that demanding a decision from you is only making you suffer. That was never my intention, so don't worry. There's no need to obsess over it anymore. I'll bring you your happiness. Pleasant dreams, for as many days or years as you may have.
Knuckles, what's the sit rep, Commander?
Happy to see you're all still alive. Eggman's forces have chewed through our defenses at Green Hill, and the resistance in the city is reporting that whatever it is that finished Sonic... Sorry, I'm still not used to saying that. Whatever it is has got them running in fear. All except for this brave kid who survived the battle and made it here in one piece. Meet our newest recruit.
Hey, you're taking off too? I was thinking the same thing. You gonna keep moving forward? No matter what, yeah? You and I aren't so different. See you later, buddy.
But if you decide to go for one final throwdown, you're in for a long battle.
Okay, everyone. It's the moment we've finally been waiting for. It's time to take back reality. So what if Akechi dies? So what if Haru, Makoto, and Futaba go back to the deep depression that comes with the tragic loss of a family member? So what if Ryuji will never get that scholarship? And Yusuke's only parental figure will be locked up the rest of his life? And so what if this stupid cat never gets to be human? We have a dark, cold reality to return to.
Are we sure about this? I'll never be with Lady On.
Alright, that's what I like to hear.
Can you at least say something cool, like checkmate, before you land the final blow?
As they approach the top, they find that Maruki is waiting for them. He tells them that whoever wins, they will control the fate of reality.
I will overwrite all of existence with my own cognition. I'm not holding back anymore.
That is my own rebellion.
Well, what do you think?
It's gorgeous. Absolutely befitting of a god.
Yeah, coming from the guy who wore that tacky scarf. That mask. Think of it as a crown or something. Maybe Haru should take a note. Might actually cover that forehead of hers.
What?
How dare you say anything to Haru? Hasn't she been through enough by your hands?
How dare I? I never laid a finger on her.
Maruki! No matter how much you try to defend Haru's honor, we all know Akechi's right.
Yeah!
Your costume sucks. And you're too much of a baby to ever join the Phantom Thieves.
Is that so? Well then, you should know. When babies don't get their way, they throw a tantrum!
This fight is actually pretty cool, but if you're an average player like me, this fight can take a long time to get through. With my basic knowledge and limited skill, it probably took me like 30 minutes to get through this first portion of the fight. You have to attack all the tentacles as well as Maruki and his persona. I believe they take more damage once you knock out his tentacles. Baton passing and special skills are the name of the game in this fight if you really want to rack up damage. He'll summon his tendrils back once he gets a chance. I actually really enjoy this fight because it's a bit of a slog, but it's never particularly difficult. Of course, I played on normal mode, so I don't have much room to speak. Upon defeating him, his persona falls to the ground and his treasure comes out. It's a torch, as he sees himself as a guide for others. As Joker goes to grab it, Maruki's palace begins to crumble. Morgana transforms himself into a van, and they escape on the street below. However, Maruki regains his strength and will. He claims that the world has chosen him, and he summons the torch to him. He then evolves his persona into the creepiest thing we've seen since Shadow Teddy in P4.
From now on, I don't care what you say about my costumes, fetishes, or life decisions. I'll live my life as me.
This man has no shame.
In Phase 2, all you really have to do is attack Maruki himself as Adam Kadmon tries to do the real damage, sometimes performing one-hit KO moves that everyone seems to want to sacrifice themselves for if you have their confidant ranked high enough.
Sumire, remember, we formed a contract last time we hung out. If I'm about to be killed, you must sacrifice yourself.
I don't remember that.
Yeah!
However, not long after, you can beat him pretty easily. That's when the coolest part of the fight begins.
I said I would show you my true self. That I was out of shame. But I guess I wasn't committed to my words. Are you sure you're okay with this?
This is grossing me out.
Huh? What are you?
Time to die.
I never intended to expose this side of me. But if we're putting it all on the table...
Ah!
Wait!
I told you, he's about to do something freaky.
Holy sh!
For me! Let me let you in on a little secret.
I heard everything you said in the exam room!
No, we promise we didn't mean it!
Just a little joke. I'm Joker after all.
For real?
Please, we didn't mean it. None of us did.
Oh. In that case, I did.
I'm tired of all you pricks!
Yes! Kill me!
Yeah, so this is probably one of the coolest moments, if not the coolest moment in the entire game. Adam Kadmon is practically invincible and continues to hammer you with blows until Futaba realizes that his head is vulnerable when he goes to punch.
I don't know how much longer we can hold this.
Yeah, Joker, do it quick!
Do you hear that? It seems to be the theme song lady.
Why is she here at a time like this?
I believe we can fly up in the sky. One day we may just be able to touch down on the star of the road we have to go. The road this path we shall proceed until the end. That's right. I was supposed to say something cool. Was it King Me? Long live the king. Oh, that's not it. Oh, that's right. Check, please. No, that was so cool. And with that, you finally defeated Maruki. Maruki begins to explain his perspective as you try to talk him out of it one more time. However, Sumire makes it known that her pain is what allowed her to grow and move on. The palace continues to collapse and the thieves make their escape in the Morgana bus. Morgana can only go so far before he realizes that there's no path left. They all beg for Morgana to fly and all of a sudden he transforms into a helicopter. Joker hangs from his grappling hook when all of a sudden...
His fetish is all over me! I've been tainted! I'm detecting as faint traces of self-esteem left. Go beat the rest out of him, Joker.
What I did to you all, what I showed you of myself, it was uncalled for, and frankly, disturbing. Come on, give me what I deserve.
He's losing control here. Oh, did you see that, JR? Listen to that! Hold of the... Attend the move! Wait, the hook of the leg! The pistol really... Oh, man! I can't believe it! This crowd is going wild! This is as if the Canadians had won the Stanley Cup!
Joker and Maruki engage in WWE-style fisticuffs until they can't take it anymore and Maruki screams out all his frustration and collapses.
Ah!
He watches his palace crumble and finally gives up. The platform shatters and Joker catches Maruki.
Just let go. I have no self-esteem left. I don't understand. Why? What do you mean, why?
But Joker won't let go. Just then, the helicopter comes in and saves them both. This might be one of my favorite scenes in the entire Persona series. We see a quote-unquote villain not necessarily have their heart stolen, but willfully make the change of heart once they're defeated. They didn't need to steal his treasure or anything, just beat him half to death. As they return to reality, they realize that Akechi, Joker, and Morgana have all disappeared. Joker once again wakes up in the Velvet Room.
It seems Persona 5 Royal is coming to an end. I did enjoy watching your adventure.
It seems your friend Akechi met a cruel fate. He was crushed in the helicopter, never to be seen again. Akechi.
Say something, I'm giving up on you. I'll be the one if you want me to. Anywhere I would have followed you. Say something, I'm giving
This is how your justice ends.
Well, it was fun while it lasted. Farewell.
And just like that, everything pretty much goes back to normal. Joker goes juvie, Akechi disappears, Morgana shows back up at LeBlanc like the last time, and everyone works together to get Joker out of jail. There are a few additions even here, like White Day, which pretty much serves as a follow-up to Valentine's Day. This time, Sojiro is your wingman, and he sets you up on one final date with whoever you choose to date. You also get some insight into what everyone's plans for the future are, as they all decide to move out and leave Yusuke all to himself in Tokyo. I can't help but feel that maybe this was included so that you have a little better perspective for Persona 5 Scramble. Your final day plays out as usual, where you are able to say goodbye to everyone for a final time. From what I remember, this part is largely the same, and only those whose ranks you maxed out are out and about. Their goodbyes are pretty simple and nothing super deep. However, you can run into this guy who asks you about Akechi, which reminds Joker that he still has to keep his promise. Finally, the game ends on a similar note to the original ending, but rather than driving Joker home, they take him to the station. However, the cops are still suspicious and are following their every move. That's when a taxi pulls up. Hey, wanna see a magic trick? Screw you guys. I'm getting in Maruki's magic taxi. I decided to give up on everything. Cognitive science, my relationship, being the ruler of the world, even teaching. I'm a lowly Uber driver now. See? Reality is great. Aren't you glad we changed your heart? And like that, it's practically over. I'm not sure how I feel, as when his friends pull up, they don't even get out of the car to say goodbye. They have brief comments as they see him off, and to me it just feels a bit off. It's a little too quick for my taste. I personally prefer the ending of Persona 4 when they chase the train down to get all their goodbyes out, or even Persona 3. This ending, compared to the original where he's on a road trip with them, feels a bit lackluster. There's one final scene as he bumps into Sumire, and they finally get on the train as they return home. And that's Persona 5 Royal. While I said this was going to be thoughts and impressions on the game, I guess this was more of a retelling than my full thoughts and feelings. I hope you guys enjoyed this regardless, as it was originally slated to be a review and then kind of morphed into this monstrosity of a video. I really enjoyed and really loved Persona 5 Royal and see it as the true Persona 5 experience, even if I don't see the ending being as satisfying. What it adds is so much more in depth than I expected. Lots of small changes that really add up, and some huge changes that feel like a cherry on top of an already great game. And with that, I'll leave you with the final super secret cutscene that I got a hold of directly from Atlus. You may have seen a version of this, but this is the real ending.
It's time for my daily mysterious phone call that I get.
Ghost! Everybody out there, it's time again for fanboys and fangirls to ship Goro and Ren. They hate the other cause what they've been through, even if they share the same hairdo. And they always at LeBlanc, come on, and I don't want to stop him. Joker's not gay, but on seems to think it's Goro and Ren, or should I say Ren and Goro, but you gotta miss Goro cause Goro Nomura had a plan and a plot to take it to the top. But he should have been more careful cause his daddy got him shot. This ain't the C's team or an Inaba mystery, it's just Goro and Ren and their virginity. Like you and Adachi, I guess Makoto, Femsi and Noan, or Junis and Nanako, you'll never see it coming. Hoo boy! Da 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 da.